And welcome back to the KNC Masterpiece here on 105.3 The Fan. Corey Majors, Mike Bassick hanging out right now with Jabril Cox on the On Time Experts hot seat powered by the On Time Experts air conditioning, heating, and plumbing. Jabril, great to have you on the show today, man. Thanks a lot for hopping on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I guess first things first, when you see two people sitting in a booth on the same side of the booth, what's your first thought? Are you like, disgusting? Or are you like, no, that's the way it's supposed to be?
Usually it's like interrogation, so it's like, oh, you did something bad, but yeah.
Because we were sitting on the same side of a booth the other night, and I was like, man, we're like a couple? And I was like, no, couples do sit across from each other sometimes, so I didn't know. Yeah, okay. My wife, she's one of those, she's like, I want to see the room. And I'm like, oh, I want to see the room. So I'm like, we're sitting next to each other. She's like, I don't want to. And I was like, well, we're going to have to deal with it. So
okay.
That's my approach on that, Mike.
So, man, last year, Jabril, you're about ready to break out. You're getting some playing time, and then the injury happens. How tough was it the rest of the season to kind of watch your Dallas Cowboys play, be successful, play in the playoffs, and because of injury, you couldn't get on the field?
Yeah, it was very frustrating, but I know that God has a plan. Everything happens for a reason, and then I just wanted to take this whole offseason and just use it to better myself as a player all around. But sitting back and watching it, I think it really helped me out, just understand the game from a different perspective. So now that I'm back, it's good to be back.
I'm kind of curious about this part because Mike wasn't with us, myself and my other co-host Kevin, whenever we started, but we were always like a night show, and we were always waiting to kind of get that big moment to be in the big stage, you know. And you went from one college to LSU, and then you get to here, and that happens, and it looks like the Cowboys have kind of cleared a way for you to become that guy. Are you like, I got to hurry up and get there, or are you kind of taking it through the process and really enjoying that?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the process right now. I can't really get caught up in everything that's going around me, but if I just continue to work hard, pray, and continue to do what I've always done ever since I was young, I think the cards will unfold for me how I want them to.
You know, Coach McCarthy talked about in the offseason before coming to training camp that the young guys are going to determine our success on this team, the guys that were probably drafted a year ago and the guys that were just recently drafted. I don't know if you heard that quote or not, but what's the expectations of kind of the young guys and the possibility of affecting the win-loss column?
Yeah, definitely. Depth is important. I think as young guys, we can add to that, especially we have a lot of great vets in front of us to learn from and just take things from them. And we're all athletes, and we've all came from college, and now we're in the pros. So the athletic ability is nothing to it. We just have to – it's the mental part that we really have to focus on and stay true to.
Now, you're a national champion, come to the NFL. Two of your teammates go to the same team, the Cincinnati Bengals. So last year, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase make it all the way to the Super Bowl in their first and second year in the NFL. I'm sure you're rooting for your friends and your teammates there, and you have to play them in week 2. How excited are you for them, the success they've had in the NFL, and then getting to play them in week 2?
Yeah, I was very excited for them, especially what they did at LSU and then now doing it in the pros. That's something that not many people get to do, but just seeing their success, it just makes me hungrier and just want the best for the Cowboys and doing everything that I can possible to get to the Super Bowl and win it.
How do you stop Jamar Chase?
I think you just have to buckle down. Really, you just have to buckle down and just focus on your technique because we're all athletes, but it's really a mental game. Whoever makes the most mistakes, that's who loses.
What is it about him that makes him so good? Is it the speed? Is there some other component of his game that you're just like, man, that's why he did what he did?
Yeah, he's built like a running back. That's what it is at receiver. So a lot of corners are smaller. They don't have that strength to compete with him. So just his speed mixed with his toughness, it builds the whole package at receiver.
At practice at LSU, did you have to cover Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson during practices?
Yeah, no, I got Jamar Chase on the over route one time, and he put the Jets on. So I was like, okay, he's one of those great ones. But it was mostly Derek Stingley who was guarding Jamar.
Well, that's a fun matchup to watch when you're at practice every day. All right, so the position of linebacker, especially in this defense, is a little different. Where like Jaron Kearse can come down and do some very special things as a big safety, and now that kind of opens up for Micah to maybe go down and rush. What is when I was watching film on you, I was telling Mike, I was like, I think you're going to love this guy. I mean, I think what he can do on the field, he can cover so much ground. Is that something that Dan Quinn looks at your what you can do and says, we're going to tailor this defense to what you can do instead of you have to fit this system?
Yeah, it's very versatile. Coach DQ, he loves space players. Man, with the league how it is, it's a very passing league, so you're going to be in nickel most of the time. So guys that could cover his space with length, things that I add to it, he really likes that, and I think I can fit in well.
When you're practicing out there, and I know we're only a few days into practice, how much, being a former Major League Baseball player, at times they tell us to, hey, give it your best, but also ease into it. We don't want injuries early on in spring training/training camp. What is it for training camp? How is it with coaches, and how hard you're supposed to go from day one of training camp?
Yeah, with me, they have a rep count, but they just want me to go out there, just be myself, just continue to get better and just get comfortable. But I think I'm 100% healthy and fully healed, so they're going to limit me, but me, just go ahead and push myself and just get in the right condition that I need to.
I know it's your second year, so it's early on. How much do you want to be a part of preseason games, getting reps in preseason games?
I think it's important. That gets you ready for the season. You don't want to go in game one and then that really be your first game feel. I think preseason will really help me develop and just get the feel, especially coming off injury.
All right, I think your signature play last year was the Daniel Jones play. And the smile, that smile right there. Like that was the moment where I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about, Mike. But that moment in that play where you're like, okay, this is what I can do, and I'm ready for this. I want more. Or did you understand how they were trying to stack things up and give you more chances?
Yeah, I just knew that when my opportunity came, I had to make the play and make the most of it, and that was one of those moments. So I always know that myself, I can do it, but it's just being able to go out there and just prove it. That's something that I did on that play.
Okay, so clean his clock on that one. Did you feel bad about it? I don't know. Like I played high school football, but I've never hit like that before. Right. So how did you feel in that, like afterwards?
Yeah, in the moment, you're all hyped. I'm like, yeah, that's, But then afterwards, you see somebody get hurt. You never want to see somebody get injured or anything. But he was able to come back the next week, so I felt better after that.
Jabril Cox in free time. What do you like doing during your free time?
Call of Duty. That's one thing that I always play, Call of Duty. I play that with my brother, Trey Lance, and his other friends. We always get on Warzone and Search and Destroy.
Okay, Warzone and Search and Destroy. Have you hit the new map?
Fortune's Keep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
It's okay. I'm still on Rebirth. I like Rebirth better.
Rebirth's great, man.
Yeah.
Rebirth's an absolute blast. What's your KD?
Probably like 1.5.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I have no clue what you guys are saying at this point.
Yeah.
I'm a 0.8 guy.
Yeah.
So me and my buddies, we have a blast on it. But you play with Trey Lance too, huh?
Yeah. We always play with him. We link up, even though he's actually over here in the Bay in Cali. So yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting because Mike's a huge card collector, as he was saying earlier, and Trey Lance's cards are kind of going insane right now. But we don't know a lot about him. What do you know about him that you can kind of his game and how he's going to transition into the NFL?
Oh yeah, I know he's mature, especially when I was at North Dakota State and he was there. He was very mature coming in, and just his attitude. I know his parents. They're great. They're great people, especially his mom and his dad. So his mentally, he's there, and his physical tools is just prototype for the quarterback. So he's just putting it all together with his mental and physical. I think he's going to be a great quarterback for this year, for years to come in this league.
You talk about North Dakota State and you go to LSU. What were maybe the few choices that you had from North Dakota State? You're showing that you are now a premium guy that I'm sure a lot of schools wanted. Who did you choose over LSU, and why LSU?
Yeah, I really had every FBS team there was, but I just wanted the best place for me to compete. And I knew the SEC. I wanted to go someplace in the SEC because that's where the most competition is for me. And just LSU was something that I felt was home. And I saw the level of competition, and Coach O told me, like, when you come here, you're going to compete, and that's what I wanted.
I saw you the linebacker group, walking towards to do the sled earlier, and I know Coach George was really weighing that thing down. But I kind of saw you you were smiling, and then you kind of whispered something to Micah, and I was wondering what were we all? Do you remember what you said to him? Was there something like, oh, these media guys?
Oh yeah, nah, I don't quite remember. Yeah, me and Michael, we talk all the time, but it's just when it comes to sled, it's like It's either it's going to hit you or you hit it. So you got to go ahead and go all in.
I did that without my helmet on once in high school, and that was a bad decision.
Oh, yeah, nah, you got to have the helmet.
Yeah. Okay, so, and speaking of, that helmet that y'all wear on your helmet, all right?
Yeah.
So that's that thing right there. Mike was asking earlier. He was like, if they could play games with those, would they? Would you play a game with that on if they were like, hey, this is good, more protection for you?
Definitely not. I don't like it on our head. I think it's –
Is it heavy?
It's not heavy. It just makes it look weird and it just feels weird. So, yeah, it's just protective guardian caps for concussions. But, yeah, I can't wait to get it off in 2 weeks.
Excellent, man. Hey, well, we really appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing you out on the field this year, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it for having me.